And it is my pleasure to introduce our closing speaker this evening, and that is Leo Terrell. And you know him. I think he's brought a red hat with him. You know him well as a Fox News contributor. You know him as a civil rights icon. But many in this room don't know what he's doing right now. And that is, he's leading the whole of government task force combating the evil of anti-Semitism in the Department of Justice in the Trump administration. Would you please join me in a champion for civil rights and a champion for the Jewish people and a friend to this organization, Mr. Leo Terrell.
Thank you. Come on, please. Good evening. My name is Don Lemon. Sorry. Wrong. Just a joke. Just a joke. Thank you very much. And I'm not a preacher. I'm not a politician. Mac forgot one thing. I'm a school teacher too. Still have my teaching license as well as my law license. I'm just an American who loves this country. I love it very much, and that's why I'm here. And I've heard all the speakers tonight, and they're great. One nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. That's not a Republican or a Democrat issue. That is an American issue. That is an American right. And that is a fundamental issue that has been missing in the previous administration. But that's why I'm here. I will get to the point and tell you about the task force that I had to combat anti-Semitism. And for those who are out there in the back, this is not the hat that you're thinking of. It's a different hat. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But the issue of freedom and liberty should not be close. And we're talking about a close election in 2026. The issues and the facts are on our side. This is a country under God that believes in religious freedom and religious liberty, and that is what is at issue in this country right now. I love Ralph Reed and Kelly and Mac, and I never say no to them. I will never, ever say no to them, and I will never say no to you. But people come up to me and say, hey, Leo, you're doing a great job on this task force. I'm not doing enough. I was with Ralph on Monday when the president said and congratulated Ralph for the organization for knocking on 10 million doorbells. That's not good enough. The other side want to take over our government. They want to take over our freedom. They want to take over our liberty. And we have an affirmative obligation to work every day to make sure they don't take away our freedom. They don't take away our liberty. It goes well beyond meeting here tonight. We have an obligation to work at this 24/7 because our freedom and liberty are at issue. And this is important for us, not just for our families, but for future generations. We have the facts on our side. We have God on our side, and yet we need to make sure we educate, we engage the other side. That was the beauty of Charlie Kirk. He took on the other side. He engaged the other side. And that's what our obligation is right now. So we got to work harder. You know, when I say I'll never say no to any of you. Because if our goal and obligation is to make sure we protect family rights, we protect our faith, we protect our freedom, this is a 24/7 obligation. I work for the greatest president in my lifetime, Donald J. Trump. I have the privilege for the greatest boss in the Department of Justice in Pam Bondi. They have given me the tools to fight anti-Semitism. And let me tell you right now, it's bad. Oh, we're winning some wars. We're winning some battles. But anti-Semitism is rampant and it has to be eliminated. Now, how in the world can we enjoy our freedom, our religious freedom, when we have individuals in this country who cannot practice and worship their freedom? I'm old enough to remember that Jewish Americans helped create the NAACP. I'm old enough to remember in the 60s where Jewish Americans went down to Mississippi and fought for black Americans for their civil rights. I'm old enough to remember that there was 2 Jewish Americans in Mississippi in June of 1964, Werner and Goodman, who lost their lives, who sacrificed their lives to fight for civil rights. I am so proud to be head of this task force, because this task force to combat anti-Semitism is not a Jewish issue. It's an American issue. It is a Western civilization issue. And we have an obligation to make sure we eradicate anti-Semitism. President Trump has said, do everything you can to eradicate anti-Semitism. I love the guy because he is sincere. And Pam Bondi has done the same. And that's why I'm here to tell you that we need your help 24/7. Just like Ralph was talking about 10 million doors that they knocked on. We got to do this every day. That's why I'll never say no. Because the commitment is real, and I understand the history of this great country. That religious freedom and religious liberty are critical to this country. Now, let me get to this hat. No, this is not a Make America Great hat. Wrong. It's red. This is not I Love Ralph Reed hat. No, no, no. I do love Ralph. He knows that. This hat has the name of Hadar Golden. May I repeat that again? Hadar Golden. Okay. Who is Hadar Golden? Hadar Golden was an IDF soldier, and in 2014, during a ceasefire in Gaza, a ceasefire, he was murdered and his body was dragged back into a cave. His mother, and I see hostages' mothers and brothers and sisters every day in my office, Department of Justice. His mother came to me and, like other hostage members, said, what can you do? Because, you see, her son has been in captivity since 2014, 11 years. And that is separate and apart from the other 47 hostages who were held in captivity, either alive or their remains remain in Gaza in the October 2023 massacre. I told Mrs. Golden I would do everything possible to make sure her son would never be forgotten. So when I do television, when I go to any event, when I go to a faith freedom activity, I wear this hat. Because every mother has the right to bury her son. So you don't mind me being sort of impolite for wearing this hat, but that's why I'm having this hat on, to make sure that we never forget that there is a mother waiting for her son to be buried. Anti-Semitism is just a scourge that has developed in this country, and it developed in this country, unfortunately, because the previous administration did nothing to stop it. They did nothing to prosecute hate crimes in the streets of New York, Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles. They did nothing to stop Jewish hate on Ivy League campuses in the Midwest, on the West Coast. I don't want to embarrass any schools like UCLA, the law school that I graduated from. I'm embarrassed by it, but that is what went on during the previous administration. We're changing that under the Trump administration because, again, at the outset of this, religious freedom is fundamental in this country. And until Jewish Americans have the opportunity to walk down the street and attend school without being harassed or intimidated simply because they're religious, we're not free. So that's why we need you. That's why I'm here. That's why I wear this hat. And it goes well beyond just Americans wanting to attend their school of choice. There is something called a Jewish tax. What? Yeah, a Jewish tax. That's what I call it. This is the fee that is charged by security groups, even the local law enforcement who turn the other way. When Jewish Americans want to walk their kids to the synagogue, or when they have an event, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Did you know that? It's just unbelievable what had happened in the previous administration. But in this administration, we're working to combat anti-Semitism because President Trump has authorized the use of every tool in the toolbox to fight it. Prosecuting hate crimes, charging Title VI, Title VII actions against schools who turn down Jewish students, who do not protect Jewish Americans, to make sure that employees are not harassed. So every tool in the toolbox is being used by the Trump administration. And I am so proud as an American, as a person who have enjoyed the fruits of this great country, to head this task force. But it requires your help. It requires the help of your friends and your neighbors and everyone in here. And it's a 24/7 obligation. Again, those doors that Ralph and the president talked about, those 10 million doors, we need more doors knocked on. Because you know why? We got the greatest president. His term ends in 2028. We have to set up guardrails to make sure what we provide and what we ensure and what we make guarantees are kept in place after 2028. So when we talk about the elections, it goes well beyond 2026. I'm talking about making sure we maintain our belief in God and country and religious freedom and liberty 2028, 2032, 2036, 2040. We just keep going on. We got to keep winning and winning and winning. We cannot lose. We cannot lose. You saw what happened prior to the Trump administration. You saw what we experienced in this country. Everything that the Reverend talked about, we experienced. We don't want to go back. So this battle to win the governorship in Georgia, the senatorial seat in Georgia next year, yes, I'm all in. Count me in. I'll walk those doors. I'll walk those streets. I'll do anything you want. I'll never say no because I love this country. And I know everyone in this room loves this country. But we have to look long range because our country is at stake right now. Even though we control the House, we control the Senate, we control the White House, we can easily lose the White House. We can easily lose the House and the Senate. Yeah, Most of you know me from Fox News, Leo 2.0. That guy, he's gone. I got that phone call from the president, Mr. Leo, you want to work for me? Yes, Mr. President. Pay cut? Okay. Yes, Mr. President. I had to think about that one. But hey, it's a no-brainer because I love this country. All the benefits this country has given me. A mother who had an 8th grade education, I'm going to start crying. A dad who finished high school said, go to school, and look where I'm at now. Amazing. I just want to close because, like I said again, I'm not going to run past the time. I'll never say no to you because I know everyone in here is committed to making sure this country is great. God bless President Trump. God bless America. And God bless you. Thank you very much.